Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Legends of Another World, Curse of Saria. In the last episode we began making our way through the occupied Sarian palace and fought the Dark Returner, which ended up being quite an expensive battle because Alicia got a critical that I didn't want, and that made the Dark Returner kill most of my party, and I had to use a fair amount of resources getting them back to full health to prepare for its next big attack. I have now restocked on hyper potions. To get the money for that, I sold all my surplus ice proofs and death touches, keeping only one of each. Now that I know those are both easily available as steals from random encounters, I can restock on those anytime I actually want more, and of course they are also available as a source of more money if I really need to get more cash. But as I've said several times, I don't like grinding. I like taking what the game naturally offers me and maybe going out of my way a little bit if there's something that I really want. So I had to come back to Corgent to get the hyper potions, and since I was here, I decided this was a good time to take on this optional boss. Harley levelled up from one random encounter on the way in, from which I got another ice proof. And here we are. Hello, Fluffy. So let's put in Alicia to get the steal. Didn't make it. As I've said, for this, I have had a look at this fight already. Cerberus attacks 3 times every time he gets a turn, but his attacks are relatively weak. So use of Vince's buffs to weaken them even further is a fairly good strategy. And I'll switch in Liana. Why not? I don't think he's vulnerable to any status, but it's worth a try. Actually, stand ground, that's what I want to do. Put haste on Harley as quickly as possible so he can heal. And Cerberus's attacks are quite strong in this phase, but once I've got the buffs up, they will be much less of a threat. So he first casts 3 physical attacks, then 3 magical. Got the turbo boost. At this point I'm going to switch in Tara because she's got more HP. Neither of them had any buffs at that moment, so it didn't matter which was in. Obviously, adrenaline increases the amount of damage I can do. So for his 3rd turn, he casts 3 status effects. I want to cure Alicia. Then I'll take off, I think, as soon as cures sleep, yes. So for his 4th turn, he does a rather annoying triple cure. But I can dish out enough damage. Get him scanned. Get another adrenaline on Tara. Cerberus is just going to repeat his cycle, so it will be physical again next, but obviously I'm also increasing the amount of attack my characters have, because I'm aware there will be his triple cure every 4 rounds. So I'm getting haste on my attackers now. Tara hasn't stood ground, that's the only thing that might make Liana a better choice than her, but I can do that now. Of course, there is the annoying fact of her having zombie on, but actually I do have items that cure zombie. Definitely keep Harley cured up, because I need him to cure the others, and at this point I can switch Vince for another character. Liana's HP is rather low, so I'll use a hyper potion. And there you can see his HP is huge compared to every other boss we've fought. Relic, that's the zombie cure. Just in time for Harley to heal her up. Actually, I should switch Vince back in and fire off another meditate, because that increases the potency of healing. Really silencing Harley. But I have quick fix. So, even after those cures, his HP is 60,000. I'm doing quite a bit more damage than he can heal. I don't need Vince back in, and I don't need Harley in at the moment, so I'll put in Amanda, just to get a bit of extra damage. His elements are all normal. But my physical is doing a lot more damage than magic at the moment, so I'll mostly concentrate on physical. Okay, that was nasty. Switch Harley back in. Get Alicia revived, get someone else to throw her a hyper potion so that Harley can re-haste her on his turn. And I can keep this kind of thing up, down to 50,000. The problem is that his attacks are randomly selected. I mean, you randomly select party members, and sometimes you will just have that bad luck of him attacking the same party member multiple times. Silence on Alicia, that's not really much of a threat, but Harley needs another quick fix. And it's probably worth using an aluminum. So this is going to be a long fight, but you can see how it works now, so I'm just going to skip to the end. Pretty much there. And that's a very nice 60 AP for everyone. The auto shield gives automatic and permanent shield, so that's a very useful ability that I'll at least think about equipping on someone. Of course, the triple header is the rare item we get. I have checked, these cannot be sold, and I think they have no gameplay usage. They're just so you can take a screenshot of your menu to boast about the optional bosses you've defeated. So, AP. Liana can now learn a new ability. Namida has mentioned that at level 30 new abilities will become available. That's really something you shouldn't have told me, because I don't mind when you point out something I've overlooked or misunderstood about the gameplay portions I've completed, but you really shouldn't tell me anything about the future, because that might affect decisions, and that's not fair. Someone playing through the game for the first time wouldn't have that information. But in any case, I still most certainly want to get Strength Buster for Liana, and I'm still going to get, as soon as possible, Regen for Harley, and third tier elementals for Amanda. Those are all so useful that even if new abilities become available later, I can't see myself giving up any of those. So it's time to do a quick save. Napster, who is another friend from the Lemmings forums, has also played through this game, and he mentioned that there is one interesting random enemy in this temple that I haven't encountered. So as this might very well be the last time I'm here, I'm going to see if I can encounter that enemy before I leave. He told me that the best place to do so is on this floor. And here we are. The Sapphire Dragon. Stole a snowflake. That's not especially useful because that's a blue magic item for Ivy that I already have. So 12,000 HP. Like most things in this dungeon, it's weak to fire. And it's not especially strong, so I should be able to take it out pretty easily. Don't forget about which party members I want in my front line. Of course, this would be a lot easier if I did still have the ice proofs equipped to all characters. Oh, that's an annoyance. I got through a few of those Phoenix Tears in the Cerberus battle. I'm worried that I might get a critical and finish him off, so defend. Yes, by all means attack Ivy. She has the most HP, and she can take anything you throw at her. Harley, Vince, Amanda, and it doesn't matter so much about the fourth because I will want AP for both Liana and Tara, so I'll just finish this off now. 1000 experience, that's pretty nice. Oh yes, I almost forgot, but Vince has 170 AP and his skills cost less to learn, so I could consider getting another one of those now. Faith sounds useful, but as I've mentioned before, Harley and Amanda are the only ones who really rely on their MP, and they both have so much, especially with MP plus 25% equipped, that they're not really, that they very rarely run out. And I did actually have to use a Liquor Plus in the Cerberus battle, but it's very rare that I use those, and they can be bought. Purify I'm not interested in. I have other ways to heal those. Increases the party's agility. That is useful. I do have haste, but I presume the two effects would stack. So I'm probably going to go for Excel first. It's not that far off. So I think I will just see you back in Saria. We can now get all the way inside the palace. Nothing in these rooms. Can't even go into that room. Yes, I see you sitting on the throne there, Mr. Coda. Ooh, this chest is now. Yeah, pretty neat. How many force fields and tonics do I have now? 5 of each. And I haven't used any of them. Well, if I get a particularly difficult boss fight, and seeing who is sitting on that throne, I think I'm about to. Coda. You guys again, and you brought a new friend. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh, nothing's wrong with me at all. You and your stupid cult, you're the reason I lost everything. You can't completely blame that on us. Yes, I can. I believe the Guardians were crazy too, but it's only you. It was only ever you. I swear I will take out every last one of you freaks. Wow. Calm down, Missy. Shut up! Ouch, that wasn't very nice. But, you know, I have more important things to do than mess around with you. Tell me, do you know, apart from the Trinity and Lunaris, what is the most powerful creature in this world? I don't care. Alone, they're already deadly. Imagine their power combined with Lunaris's. I'll let you see for yourself. So long. Where'd you go? Oh my god. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse. That worse! I swear once I kick this thing's ass, he's next! If we don't die trying, that thing's gonna be crazy powerful. It's one of these. Hello, Dark Transient. How are we going to deal with you? Well, I don't know its pattern yet, but the original transient used Pulse, which was magical, and Trauma, which was physical. So I should probably get Vince's buffs on as quickly as possible. I'm not even going to try stealing immediately. Breaker attack. Oh, it can inflict zombie. Nice. It's probably invulnerable to scan. Yep. Taste of Hell? It inflicts all of us with zombie. Okay. Does that change my strategy? Not really. I can't heal Vince. I can put... well, I'll put haste on Harley, which is not much point because I can't heal anyone. But I can switch members, so when Vince's turn comes up, I'll switch him for Alicia. Let's do a steal now. Barrier, okay. Okay, it has a much more powerful version of the trauma attack that takes everyone out. So I'm going to have to do a bit of experimentation to work out how to deal with that. It might be that I have to gain more levels for this. One thing that's really annoying is that I can't get back to Taspia to get more HP plus 25%. Ivy has enough HP to withstand that attack, but at the moment she's the only one, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to work on this on my own time and come up with a strategy. So I just had an attempt in which I brought Ivy in as the highest HP user to see if I could get past that trauma to see what comes next, and the trauma just happened to get a critical on Ivy. So I've changed my setup around. Harley's HP plus 25 is off, replaced with Magic plus 10, and Tara has the HP plus 25%, which gives her 1570, which might be enough to survive trauma if I can get Vince's buffs on her in time. So, obviously, the other advantage having Tara in my starting lineup is Breaker attack. Then I'll switch in Amanda so that Tara is not in the party when he does the zombie status to all move. Meditate to give Harley more magic. Nice, got a critical. Ooh, resets its shields. Anyway, I need to put Tara back in. Breaker attack. Trauma already. Well, she did survive, so that's one thing. Although I was really Oh, I should have restocked on Phoenix Tears and Relics before the fight. I was hoping to have time to put both Tara and Ivy in so that I'd have 2 survivors. But at least this way we can see what the Dark Transient does next, and it's not pretty. So now I have to work out a way to survive Trauma and Eclipse. See you in a bit. So we might just be learning this thing's pattern one step at a time. I've stocked up on hyper potions and relics, and Ivy has the sensor ability equipped, which apparently, I've only discovered this now, only works if she's in the active party. So we're going to try the same thing as before. Breaker attack, adrenaline. Zombie is not good, but I don't have time to take it off right now. So haste Harley, but that's really important. He must haste himself on his first turn, that above any other priorities. Okay, now give Tara a relic. Harley gets a turn again, excellent. Use that to heal her up. And switch Tara for, doesn't really matter, but the main thing is to get her out of the party when the zombie everyone thing hits. Because the sequence of turns seems to be fairly predictable, I can nearly always do that. So haste Alicia, she's the main damage dealer. Then I want Ivy in the party for sensor. And only Alicia's going to have a turn after Ivy, which is a pity. I'm not sure very many of Ivy's spells will be much use, but switch Alicia out for Tara, and now I've got Tara and Ivy, who should both be able to survive trauma. Trauma sometimes inflicts the zombie status. Did not know. So I've only got these 2 turns, and all I can do is Hyper Potion Ivy. Tara cannot do anything useful except inflict a little bit more damage. She's going to die anyway, and if I use her turn to revive a character, that character dies. However, we have at least got 1 stage further in the battle, so I can see what comes next. And if I revive Harley, he can help me revive the others. Ivy will get another turn, which she can use. There doesn't seem that much point in reviving, but I'll do it anyway. Ivy can use her turn to give herself a potion plus. Oh, Tara gets a turn. Okay, in that case, Hyper Potion. Okay, it just did a physical attack. So the first transient had a pattern of physical attack, then pulse, then trauma. I'm guessing this one might have a set pattern, in which case it would be physical attack, then Taste of Hell, which is the zombie to everyone, and then trauma. So for Taste of Hell, I need Ivy and Tara out of the party, which means I can't see the turn order anymore. Harley should haste. Oops, I meant to have Harley haste himself. Alicia can't do anything useful. Tara must switch out. May as well be Vince. I didn't have time to put on another breaker attack, so I should have Alicia use Shell Bomb inflicts Meltdown. I want to inflict Weaken. Oh, it uses Pulse. Deathly Rain. Okay, that didn't do very much. But we've lost Harley. Alicia gets 2 turns in a row when she's hasted, which is rather nice. So I don't know what this transient pattern is. It has more different attacks than I'm aware of. I'm just going to switch Ivy back in because she has the highest max HP. Give her another Hyper Potion. Continue attacking with Alicia. And I'll use Ivy's turn to revive Harley. I've got a few turns before the transient goes again, so I'll have Harley revive Amanda. She can switch for Vince, who can give Alicia another buff. Resets its shields. Oh, and Alicia's low on HP. Switch for Tara and Great Attack. What should I do with Ivy? Could deal water or ice damage. Harley and Vince are about to die on the transient's next turn, but I don't actually know what attack it's going to use, so I can give Harley a potion plus some hope. Taste of Hell. Okay, that's the that is the zombie to all attack, but it didn't work on Ivy or Tara, which is good. Harley's not going to go for a while, which is a pity because I'd like him to have haste so that he can do more curing. You can tell this is a super stressful fight just because I'm umming and ahhing so much. And I have no idea what its HP is. If I meditate, Harley gets but Harley's not going to survive the next turn anyway, so use his turn to cure Ivy, switch for Tara again. Trauma. 3 HP. 3! Even though I revived Harley, he's not going to get a turn, so that was a waste. I'll need to use another Hyper Potion. It's probably going to do Eclipse next. Use this turn to get in some extra damage, I suppose. I don't know which of Ivy's attacks is the strongest, but Tornado uses the most BP, so it's worth a try. Yeah, 1700. It's okay. Eclipse doesn't actually do that much, but there was no time to... Well, there was time, but I didn't do things as well as I could have done. This is so stressful. Now what happens if I revive Harley? Will he get a turn? Yes, he does get a turn. What can I use it to do? Haste him. And that means he gets another turn before the transient. Excellent. I'm going to switch in Alicia for some quick damage. Good. And then switch Ivy back. Okay, it just used a physical attack. Does that mean it's going to be Taste of Hell next? If it does, I should get Tara and Ivy out of the party. Yeah, switch to Alicia. Attack. Revive Harley. See, the problem with this fight is not knowing its HP. I have no idea how close I am. Ivy doesn't get a turn to get out of the party. That's great. I'll just use Alicia's turns to attack twice. Oh, resets its shields. Then I need to use another frag bomb. Uses Pulse. And Deathly Rain. Wait, it had 2 turns in a row? That's not fair. So, at this point, I think it's going to be necessary for me to do a bit of levelling up and just get more of the hyper potions and revives. I think that my strategy seems to be working for the fight, but I just don't know how much longer it goes on for. I'll also have a little bit of thinking about whether I can improve my strategy in any way. And I'm not going to make you sit through the first half of the fight, so if I have any success, then I'll see you again when I'm kind of roughly at about this point. I'm sorry I can't do better than that, but again, it's the inability to scan it, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this in terms of the video, but I'll do my best to come up with something. So we're now at 15 hours in game time. And that's because I did a few extra battles to get the money to get another 10 revives and another 2 hyper potions. I would have liked more hyper potions, but they are very expensive. I've also had a look over the video footage of the Dark Transient battle, and I've noticed a few things. One is that it didn't actually get 2 turns in a row. One of them was a counterattack to Alicia's bomb, and I think that it only uses Pulse as a counterattack. So in fact, its pattern may be simpler than I realised if I look just for the turns when it is actually attacking. The other thing I noticed was that the attack that killed me at the end, Deadly Rain, hit Ivy for 100 and something damage. Even though her HP was over 1,000, she still died. So it seems to be a kind of instant death attack. So obviously there must be a way to prevent it wiping out the whole party. In order to work out what that way was, I looked back at the earlier appearances of Deadly Rain, and I realised that if a character has the zombie status, they do not get instant killed by it. They still take damage, but not the instant kill. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. On the one hand, it is perfectly fair that a good way to deal with boss battles is to look closely at what they do, so as to work out the best way to respond to them. That was certainly the case with the first Transient, and so even more so than usual, one would expect it with an upgraded Transient. However, the problem I have is that this particular mechanic is just so unlike anything that's come up in the game before. There have been no clues that some enemy attacks will work differently depending on whether or not you have a particular status. However, regardless of fairness, that is the way it is. So I've changed my setup a little. In the battles that I did to get the money for, did I mention this yet? I've got another 2 hyper potions and another 10 revives. I would have liked even more hyper potions, but they are so expensive. And the battles that I did to get those leveled up Harley and Tara and Ivy, who is by far lower level than the rest of the characters. I don't know why. She's very close to another level, so I could get that for her. I've changed things around because I realise instead of trying to have just 2 characters survive trauma, it's really important that as many as possible survive. And that is more reasonable than it at first appeared. I saw these 1700-ish damage figures and I thought, well, only my top HP characters are going to survive that. But the damage can be reduced, firstly with Leanna's Strength Buster, because it is a physical attack. Obviously with Defend, as in the first Transient battle, but I'm reluctant to use Defend because I want to be laying on as much damage and doing as much healing as I can get in. And that's especially true when there are status effects and other things to think about. Because the Transient inflicts... I've seen Darkness status as well as Zombie and Poison. Not sure if it does any others. So yes, I don't want to be using my turns to defend. So I've switched some of my abilities around. It was not necessary for Ivy's HP to be quite as high as it was, so I've taken off her HP plus 25 in favour of defence plus 5. Harley now has that, and he also has auto shield. The other big change I've made to my strategy is that I've remembered that I have turbo boosts, which only Alicia can use. I have only 2 of them, but it does mean Harley is not the only one able to cast haste. And that's particularly important because Harley has the lowest agility. Even with agility boosts, he gets his first turn late. So I now always start the battle by having Alicia use her item to haste Harley. Of course, that means it's important for me to keep Harley alive as long as possible. Otherwise I'd have to re-haste him, and I only have 2 of those items and I would rather not use both. And the other change is that Alicia now has Sensor, because she's going to be in my front row for longer than Ivy. And it's especially important to have her there in the first phase of the battle, where absolutely every turn counts. So the first action, I've worked out a sequence because it seems that with the characters the way they are now, the sequence of turns is always going to be the same, and the sequence of the transient's actions is always the same. So this battle should be much more predictable than most. It's still very hard, but I can at least predict the sequence of turns and work out a turn-by-turn strategy. So first, I haste Harley. Next, I haste Alicia. She has the highest HP, so... the highest agility, so hasting her early it gives my party the most benefit in terms of extra turns. Liana throws a breaker attack. And sometimes the transient will counterattack that. It hasn't this time, so I'm going to risk a theft. I'm going to use Vince's buffs, obviously, to improve the damage done by my physical characters, so it makes sense to steal early when they don't have the buffs on yet. Transient will always use Trauma before Eclipse, so I put the Adrenaline buff on first. Harley will have 2 turns before the Transient's next turn, so I can afford to use this turn to attack. And I want to do Strength Buster as early as possible. So I haven't yet thought it through entirely in terms of which 4 characters should be zombified, but this seems a reasonable 4. Obviously I want Tara and Ivy to not be zombified because they're my highest HP users. So I want to be able to keep healing them up so I have characters alive. I don't mind Alicia being zombified because it's more important to keep her in the front row so that she can keep laying on the damage. So the Transient should now use Taste of Hell, zombifying my front party members, and unfortunately it is random how many of them end up with poison as well. Oh, in fact, I just realised, both poison and zombie statuses are random. You can see that Liana did not get zombie, and obviously that's significant because when it does use the Deadly Rain, that means I can have at most these 3 characters survive. Anyway, if Harley gets poison, I have to take that off So I'm going to want to switch Alicia for Ivy and Liana for Tara before the transient's next turn, but I have some opportunity to lay on more damage first. And Tara should use her Magic Buster. Whoops. I used Breaker Attack by accident. Oh dear, that has messed things up. I'm going to get back to this point off camera. So I'm back at roughly the same point. Just a slight improvement is that I used Alicia's turn to give herself a Hyper Potion rather than Harley's to heal her, and that allowed me to get haste on Liana as well. So on the transient's next turn it will use Trauma, and before then I need to switch Alicia and Liana for Tara and Ivy, but I have some time to lay on some damage. Resets its shields. Okay. I may as well cure Vince and hope that he can survive trauma with that fairly high HP. It is possible after I've used Strength Buster, although I think it's unlikely. So switch to Tara, and it has reset its shield by now, so get off another Breaker Attack. Switch Alicia for Ivy. I'm not sure the best use for Ivy's turns. Certainly I never want to use Blessing in this battle because that will damage anyone who has the zombie status. Her physical attack isn't much use, so I'm just going to use Charge followed by various magical attacks. Yep, I managed to get all 4 characters surviving trauma. The next thing that will happen is Eclipse, and Harley cannot survive that, so I need to use his turn. I may as well use his turn to switch rather than heal. Put Alicia back in, and note that I have 4 turns to heal up party members. Unfortunately, Tara's been zombified now. So, Hyper Potion on Ivy. I may as well use a Hyper Potion on Vince. I've got these Hyper Potions. And then I'll want to switch in for party members who don't have zombie, which is... no, Liana does have it, and she has... so Amanda, who can also do magic attack on her turn. Tara is going to die, and there's nothing I can do about that, but I can use her turn to get Magic Buster in. Okay, we're doing reasonably well so far. 3 characters survived Eclipse, so if I now switch Alicia back in because she has the most turns, I can revive Tara. Swap in Harley. Now I think that on the Transient's next turn it will do, what's it called? Deadly Rain. So I should use Harley to cure Vince and then get everyone out, exchanging them for zombified characters. It's a pity I can't get Vince out when he has all those buffs on him, but Vince having buffs on himself doesn't really matter because I'm not using his attacks. Oh, that's right. I forgot it has another physical attack. Next will be Deadly Rain. And Deadly Rain will finish off whoever's in my front row at the time, except Alicia and Harley. But it does include a damage component, so it might finish off Harley as well. So there's a great deal of luck in this battle, and to be honest, I would be helped by having higher levels. I shouldn't revive Liana on Alicia's turn. I should just use all 3 of her turns to lay on attack. Oh no, I forgot it had reset its shields. In that case, definitely revive Liana. But she's not going to get another turn before Alicia's. Oh, that was a bad miscalculation. Alicia does have the... Oh, can I haste Liana? Alicia does have the bombs, but Transient will counterattack bombs with pulse, so I can't afford to use one. Yes, that is going to give Liana a turn. There's nothing useful I can do with this turn. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing useful I can do with this turn. Fortunately, Deathly Rain is not very strong, and it does seem to be physical, so the damage was mitigated by the shield and buffs I'd put up. So this is going very well, actually. I've got 2 characters still alive by this stage. I've laid on a lot of damage, and I think now the transient cycle simply repeats. So next will be physical, then taste of hell, and so on. So this video has already gone on long enough, so I'm just going to stop the recording so this becomes a complete segment, and then carry on the recording so that if I happen to win on this attempt, I will have a complete on-camera Dark Transient fight. Either way, I'll see you in a bit. Actually, this is still the same turn. I just wanted to add a brief coda, which is that I realise, on the assumption that I'm right about the pattern and that the next turn will be Taste of Hell, I should use this turn to take Alicia and Harley's zombie off and full heal them. So that's what I'm going to do. And that turn the Transient used a physical attack, so I have even more leeway than I thought. Okay, this is a separate recording that's probably not going into the main video. So this is hopefully a complete successful Dark Transient fight. So before the next turn I need to revive Vince and heal Vince and Liana. That's only 3 actions, so I can use Alicia's turns to attack. Harley will get 2 turns, so I may as well use Leanna's turn to revive Vince. I have plenty of revives. And of course, because Leanna died and came back, she no longer has the buffs on, so let's reapply. Okay, note that it reset its shields. I think I can get away with first tier cure. Yes, I was correct about Taste of Hell being next. Harley is not poisoned this time, so that's good. Next is Trauma, so Alicia will attack twice and then switch for Ivy. Leanna will switch for Tara as soon as her turn comes. And that's all I need to do. I don't care about Vince having the poison status. And luckily... But I forgot that. Well, in that case, I may as well throw Vince. I have 34 antidotes. 34? Oh, but that meant I couldn't get Leanna out. So I'll switch Harley for Tara and Alicia for Ivy as planned. Oh my goodness. I really was that close to the end. I had no idea. Okay, that one's going in. We did it. Alright, where did Coda go? We lost him. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's go find him. Alicia, calm down. We can't do anything about Coda just yet. I forgot what voice I used for Vince. Vince is right. He could be anywhere by now, but I'm sure we'll run into him again. So, we need to find Aisha, right? Yeah, to the Metaspi. Please tell me I get a chance to sit on the throne. No, not what I was going to say. To save. Please tell me I get a chance to save. Oh, for a moment I thought I'd lost control of my character, but I'm not sure what happened. Random encounters in this area aren't very threatening, but I do want to have Alicia back in so she can try to steal a death touch from the blade. Those go for a lot of money, but they are a rare steal that often takes many turns, so I'm going to stop recording and in fact stop for this episode. So I will see you next time.